small gesture of appreciation. I'll read it aloud for the people so we don't have to crowd together and read it. Adam Van Koeveren is my name. I'm the Member of Parliament for Milton. I'm pleased to congratulate IQI Global Real Estate on the occasion of your grand opening. Congratulations to the team at IQI for the opening of your Milton branch. Local businesses like yours are incredibly important to our town's economy, as well as our country's economy, and you are the heart of our community. I wish your team success as you start this new chapter in your new business and continued success.
Thank you so much.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Yusuf, can you hear me okay? Yep, brilliant. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight at IQI Australia Friday night prop talk. We have hosted this event for about 4 months now, and we have actually covered quite a number of topics and things like migration and how to leverage government incentive to expand your portfolio. And also each month, we will have a special guest from our IQI network from country outside of Australia to share with us how to invest in the country as well as the market outlook. So, and tonight we have a great privilege to have IQI Canada with us. And before I introduce Yusuf, I'm just gonna quickly share about the video clip that we just seen about Canada. And that really made me feel like traveling. And unfortunately, at the moment we are not able to travel. But yeah, one day, Yusuf, we will come and visit you at Canada. All right. All right, before I keep going, let me quickly introduce about IQI Australia. So IQI Australia is a Perth-based real estate agency, and we are specializing in off-the-plan sale and brand new house and land packages. And we provide comprehensive property services. So from purchase, securing a loan until settlement, even including property management, will look after you. So we work alongside our investor to make sure they pick the right properties and to expand the portfolio, as well as first homeowner to secure the dream home. So that is what we will do. And tonight, we are very, very blessed to have Yusuf from Canada with us. It's actually 8 o'clock in the morning there. And thank you, Yusuf, for joining us. And I would like to also take this opportunity to congratulate IQI Canada. They just recently have opened up another new branch. So there will be 3 branches at Canada at the moment under IQI wing. So big congratulations to Yusuf. Yeah. So Yusuf is the broker of record for IQI Canada, and he's also the country head of GWA IQI. Yeah, Yusuf has been in the real estate industry for the last 10 years. So he's been looking and servicing a lot of the client in Canada, as well as overseas investor that, investing into Canada from country like, China, India, even Australia. So thank you for sharing that knowledge with us today, Yusuf. And Yusuf not only just focusing on residential real estate, he has also have a very strong track record in commercial transaction. So if there is a business opportunity that you're thinking to venture out to Canada, he's your man. And Yusuf also have a master of business admin from USA. And his main focus at the moment is on marketing and conducting training to train all the new IQI member in Canada. And also, of course, he is sharing all his knowledge with us as well in the global. So the beauty with the IQI global platform is, even though Yusuf is in Canada, we're in Australia, but we work together, we know each other. So I feel 100% confident if my client said, Leanne, today I would like to expand my portfolio. I want to do something in Canada, and I'll go, hi, Yusuf, I have this client. Can you look after him? And I know that, and very confident that under the IQI umbrella, he will look after my client. And I'm confident that everything that everybody that I pass to him will be well looked after. So, okay, enough of me talking. I would like to pass the floor to Yusuf, and over to you, Yusuf. Thank you, and good morning to you.
Very good evening to you, Leanne, and good morning from Toronto. Thank you so much for the introduction. We are seeing each other face to face since Tokyo trip, when we were in Tokyo last, and we were at the International Property Show in Tokyo. That was a fun trip with you and Lily and everybody. So thank you so much for inviting me today. I'm just going to share my screen and give you some, let's see if we can all see my screen here. Okay, are we good in seeing my screen? Okay, good. All right, so thank you very much for everybody who's joined us today. We will go through the presentation. We'll talk a little bit about IQI. We'll talk about the IQI Canada. We'll give you a market update about the current real estate market, buying and selling processes over here, and we'll talk about 2 exclusive projects which IQI Canada is doing on that. You're more than happy to ask any questions. I'm sure Leanne, at the end of the presentation, I'll be there to answer any discussions on that. So I'm just going to get started here. I'm not going to go into introduction of myself. I think Leanne has done a wonderful thing of telling everything about me. So thank you so much for that, Leanne, on that. So IQI Canada, we have 3 offices here in 2018. Actually, today was one of the launches for our initial launches in September 11, 2018. So that was an office which we had in Mississauga. Then in 2019, we opened up an office in Cambridge and in Milton, and then the third office was done in Milton. Okay, let me see what I. So about Canada, Canada is the second largest country in the world in area after Russia, occupying roughly about northern 2/5 of the continent of North America. Just a little guide to the provinces. We are in Ontario, and then we have Quebec, we have Manitoba, we have Alberta, we have British Columbia, Northwestern Territories. One of the things people always ask me is that what are the reasons to invest in Canada? So we will give you the 5 reasons, and we'll go more in details about those reasons in my rest of my presentation. So why is Canada real estate? Why is Canada real estate a smart investment? Growing immigration, as we all know that the immigration has been growing up in Canada and in Australia as well. So due to its appeal, it's a safe and reliable place to live. And Canada is one of the main destinations for immigrants who seek hopes of creating a better living conditions for themselves. Growing job supply. Top companies have also taken interest in Canada's economic stability. In recent years, we have tech giants like Amazon and Google both expressed interest in opening headquarters here. Strong and a very reliable banking system. Canada's banks are strongly regulated and have controls in place to prevent lending from getting out of control. There is no residency or citizenship required when it comes to the purchase of the property in Canada. There is no residency or citizenship requirement. It means that anybody who is a foreign buyer can buy a property in Canada. There's a variety of financing options available as well. For the foreign investors can also get access to loans from Canadian banks, and in some instances, be able to use the loans from foreign banks as well for that. So some facts about Canada. The population around 37 million. Our economy is pretty much closely resembles to the US in its market-oriented economic system. The leading sectors include automotive and other manufacturers, forest product, minerals, and petroleum. The currency between $1 is equal to 0.95 Canadian dollars. Foreign ownership, as I mentioned, Canada welcomes property buyers from all over the country, and there is no restriction on the amount and the kind of property you can buy. So what it means is that there is no minimum amount for investment. A foreign can buy a property as low as from $100,000 to $10,000 to whatever amount on that. A property buying procedure, as you know, Canadian real estate is a regulated industry. All the real estate agents who are registered in Canada are under the regulated real estate organizations of each and every province. In Ontario, it's called the RICO. So you require a real estate agent to select and make a property. They're talking about here about the resale properties. Or what we call a pre-construction off plan. So we'll need a real estate agent. You will require a mortgage broker to help you through the mortgage approval process. There's a real estate lawyer which is required, who's involved in buying and selling of the property. A home inspector is required, especially in the secondary market, where you can get your properties inspected through a home inspector, which is also regulated by authorities. Property insurance broker to get your property insured. You need a tax accountant to manage your tax matters throughout the buying, selling, and or keeping the property, especially if you're an investor, and a property manager to manage and maintain the property on that. Budget and financing. As a foreign buyer, you can apply for a mortgage finance from Canadian banks and lenders. Mortgage brokers can guide you through the complete process. IQI Canada does help you in facilitating that services through our preferred mortgage brokers. The Canadian banks and lenders can finance foreign buyers, but they require larger down payments, which is usually between 45 to 50%. And based on that, you can get financed by the Canadian bank as a mortgage. Banks will lend you if you can prove that you can afford the debt and require you to get the income and creditworthiness verified. Again, to get qualified for a mortgage for a property in Canada as a foreign buyer, generally the following things are required. You need a 45 to 50% of down payment, a reference letter from your bank, a proof of income, that may be employment letter or income, tax returns, 3 to 6 months of bank statement, and Canadian international or international credit check, or it could be through one of the banks as well on that. One of the things we do encourage people to know is know about your taxes. Now, in April 1st of 2017, the Ontario, which is the Greater Toronto Area, we call it Greater Golden Horseshoe, and in Vancouver, there was a 15% NRST, which is a non-resident speculation tax that was put in. Now this NRST is not applicable to commercial properties. You can buy a commercial property and that property is exempt from NRST. Now this NRST is limited to GTA, which we call as a Greater Toronto Area or Greater Golden Horseshoe Area. But if you are buying in Montreal, Calgary, Ottawa, or any other states, you're exempt from NRST. With NRST, there are possibilities that you can get the NRST back as well. If you become a permanent resident within 5 years of buying or purchasing a property, you get the 15% tax back. If you have a child who would be going for education for full 4-year degree program, then also you're eligible to get this 15% back on that. The other taxes involved are like the land transfer tax when taking possession of the property. That is approximately from 1.5 to 2% of the value of the property, depending on the area. And we're talking about Ontario here. Alberta has a different thing, which I'll be talking about a project there, and I'll give you more details on that. So each property in Canada is subject to a property tax, and tax rate varies according to the areas. All investment in Canada are subject to an income tax for the properties rented out and capital gains when selling the property. The details about these taxes may vary depending on the location of the property in Canada. The Canadian government generally withholds about 25% of a gross selling price until appropriate tax forms have been completed. A certificate of compliance can be presented to prove that taxes have been paid to reduce or eliminate and withholding tax. Upon presenting the certificate, the tax is calculated to net profit and remaining withholding tax is refunded. We got accountants to take care of everything, so I don't want to go into more details about giving you about the taxes. But as a foreign buyer, you will not qualify for tax-based programs for the Canadian government offered for the first-time home buyers, because there's a first-time home buyer incentive program which is being offered to the Canadian residents and citizens of that, especially if you're buying your first property. So just to give you a Toronto real estate market update, and this is the numbers which is for the month of August 2020, which is an year-over-year summary. So what has happened in August 2020, you can see the sales of 2019 and 2020 were up by 40.3%. We're talking about comparing August of 2019 to August of 2020. The new listings was up by 56.8%. The active listings was up by 5%. The average selling price was up by 20.1%. I mean, taking the average of different places in the Toronto real estate market here. So the average price for a house was $792,134 in 2019. It jumped to $951,404 in 2020, which shows that the continuous growth in the Toronto real estate market has been going on, and the reason is that there is still a lot of demand when it comes to the properties. So today I'll talk about a couple of projects. One is called the Festival Condos. It is in Vaughan, Ontario. This is located on Highway 7 in the heart of brand new Vaughan Metropolitan Center. Now Vaughan from Toronto is away like about 20-25 minutes away from Toronto. Is what we call as a new downtown Toronto is called Vaughan. Vaughan has seen a lot of other buildings which has come in, and I'll share the metropolitan plan as well. On my next slide, it's about a 40 to 60 stories due for completion in 2024. This project just got launched last week. A unique blend of subway and rapid bus transit with to downtown and suburbs, and a quick, easy access to Ryerson University, to the University of Toronto, to George Brown College and York University. It is centrally located has got Costco, IKEA, and all different things in the neighborhood on that. So about Festival Condos, it's a landmark tower of the south of Vaughan. Its location is Highway 7 and Jane Street. We'll just go on that. There's two towers which is being launched right now. There will be a total of 4 towers coming in. One is a 66-story tower. The other one is a 55-story tower. There are approximately 1,300 units. The suites include there's a 1-bedroom, a 1-bedroom plus den, and a 2-bedroom. Their starting prices are from the 400s. Tentatively, occupancy is about 2024, which is approximately 4 years from now. it does get delayed by 6 months to a year, depending upon the weather and things like that. This developer, Mancus and Quadreal, are very huge developers. They have done several properties on this on this particular thing. Now, as far as the location is concerned, just to go around it, oops, a little bit more further down on that. So where this location is coming up, it's going to be a 3-minute walk to a future subway, which is going to be a TTC on that. There is already signature office tower which is being made. There's already a lot of other towers which has come in. So basically it's like a subway, a TTC, which is right at your doorstep. When it comes to Festival Condos, when we look at the connectivity of it on that, it takes about, if you're going to downtown to the TTC, it takes you about 40 minutes. York University, which is a very famous university here, it's about 6 minutes away by the VMC, which is the Vaughan Metropolitan Center. The Yorkdale Mall, the universities. It's like everything is literally on your doorstep as soon as you walk out of your apartment, and you get straight away into the Go Bus, the TTC, and the other transport, public transport services. Now, to give you a little bit about the prices, now I do have the full information about the brochure and the floor plans, which Leanne, I'll be more than happy to share with anybody who's looking for. This is just an approximate what prices we are looking at. The 1 bedroom and 1 bathroom, which is approximately 497 square feet. We're looking at anywhere between 490 to 550. Again, 1 bedroom plus den between 550 to 600, depending on what floor are you on. And it goes all the way to a 2 bedroom, which is between 680 to 730 on that. Now the deposit structure right now, this is the deposit structure for the local buyers. For the international buyers, it's a little bit more. Normally it's about close to about 35%. But for the local, it is right now, if you do a $5,000 upon signing, and then they give you about like 10 days time period to get a mortgage approval letter, a solicitor review where you can review your contract on that. The balance of 5% is payable in 30 days, 2.5% in 90 days, 5% in 180 days, 2.5% 370 days, 2.5% in March 1st, 2022, and 5% on March 6, 2023. So you can practically see whatever is being put here for international will be 10, 5, 5, 5, 5, and 5. If you look at the deposit structure, it's a very well extended deposit structure, which makes it another amazing investment product on that. And now another thing which I want to add here is that we do offer assignment sales on this. So what assignment means is that with the builder's approval, before closing, if the builder has sold about 80–90% of it, with the builder's approval, you are able to assign or sell your unit at a premium price of what you have bought. So by the year 2022-23, you will be able to sell your unit, but subject to the approval from the builders, which is normally given by the builders on that. So in the project I'm going to talk about, it's very interesting. It's in Calgary. And why in Calgary? Because IQI is working, is not only in Ontario. We have projects in Montreal, we have projects in Calgary, Alberta, and we have projects in Vancouver. We are the exclusive agents for Sola Calgary as the exclusive real estate brokerage in Ontario. The project is getting launched on October 5th. I'll give you some of the starting prices and what Sola is all about and where it's located. More details will follow up when we are coming close to the launch of this project on that. So Sola in Kensington, Sola, it's going to be a luxury modern collection of 172 beautifully designed smart homes with efficient, trendy floor plans. Why we talk about being a smart home? This is going to be the first Alexia-enabled building in Calgary on that. There will be rooftop amenities such as state-of-art fitness. Sola in Kensington will offer leading tech features in Canada for every smart home resident. First of its kind in Calgary for the new luxury condo building. High level of safety, ease, and comfort. Now, Sola Central, Sola is in Kensington, lives in the intersection, which is again very close to University of Calgary and the various other amenities which is around the area on that. Now, why Calgary? People were asked, why should I invest in Calgary? Why would I invest in that? Now, Calgary has been voted as the #1 most livable city in Canada and #1 most livable city in North America. Most affordable living cost for any major metropolitan center in Canada. Solid population growth for years ahead from the interprovincial migration international into Calgary. Pro-business economy and friendly low tax business climate to promote growth. It's a huge tech sector growth and new jobs and economic diversification accelerating. Most attractive real estate investment cycle with low interest rate, low vacancy rate, and rising rents ahead. So Calgary has been voted as the 5th most livable city in the world. It has the highest head office concentration per capita in Canada. For a second year in a row, Calgary ranked up as the top most livable city in North America. Each year, the Calgary's economy continues to grow and diversify and expand rapidly beyond its oil and gas industry into so many high growth sectors: technology, software, IT services, interactive digital media, etc., manufacturing, distribution, logistics and transportation, financial services, and the renewable energy. As of July 2020, Alberta corporate tax rate is only 8%, which is lowest in Canada. Alberta has one of the lowest tax rates now in North America, and Alberta has no provincial sales tax. So what it means is that if in terms of when you are doing your closing cost between Ontario and other states, there is a closing cost of between 1.5 to 2%. Plus on top of there's an HST, which is the harmonized sales tax. In Alberta, there is no land transfer tax. So literally you're paying a couple of $1,000s on whatever property you're buying in terms of your land transfer tax, which is as good as a zero land transfer tax on that. There is a solid influx of population growth. We've seen there's a low vacancy rates in the past several years. The rents are rising. There's low inventory stock of housing leading to rising values over coming years. Now, huge growth in Calgary's tech sector. The tech sector in Calgary is the fastest growing job created, with global investors accelerating from the world. The global software development company ESQ Business Services selected Calgary as a Canadian hub. Calgary based over 70 million in May 2020 and hiring every week. Again, benefit software headcount over 600 now. Share works by Morgan Stanley, continuous headcount expansions. There's so many other high growth tech companies are expanding their offices into Calgary. A little bit more about the global tech spending into Calgary. Absorb software, learning technology firm with global offices. They've just leased over 80,000 square feet. The Green Gate building, Canada's largest solar farm near Calgary. Recent of $500 million of investment. Recent tech job fair has record turnout to be over 2,000 plus jobs, open with huge number of new technology. Blackstone Global DTC company expanding into Calgary. Again, if you've been the Calgary has the Rocky View, which is a part of the greater Calgary, and has averaged about an annual growth about 9.5%. Greater Calgary is becoming the Western Canada's leading logistic and distribution hub for all major North American companies expanding. And several major North American companies have expanded into the region, including Amazon, Home Depot, Lowe's, and many more on that. So again, one question people were asking is that, why should you invest in solar? So solar is the most tech innovative new multi-family building in Canada. Outstanding location in trendy Kensington area of northwest of Calgary. It's a walking distance to all transit paths, waterfront paths along Bow River, amenities and closet, and closest to amenities. Smaller suite sizes for affordable condo unit prices for any new Calgary project. They give you 1 year of free gigabyte Ethernet service for all residents. Smart home technology with every single condo unit. As I said, it's Canada's first Amazon Alexa fully enabled building, rooftop fitness centers, incredible views of the upper floors, and exceptional investor program with a full rental management services are available when it comes to solar on that. Just to give you a little bit about that how Calgary is in pro-business economy. Calgary has the lowest tax rate. The thing is that the notice to increase the rent in Calgary, within 3 months, you can increase the rent. As I said, the property taxes are zero. The vacancy tax rate is zero. The foreign buyer tax, when I was talking about the NRST, which was the 15% tax, which is due for which is for people buying in Vancouver and Toronto. Now Calgary, Montreal, Ottawa, these are the places where the foreign buyer tax is absolutely zero. The rent control means zero. That means that you can have a rent increase within every 3 months on that. So what is solar does? Solar has a complete property management for our investor clients. We include a full rental management, lease up to the best tenants, complete landlord-tenant documentation, monthly reporting on all deposits, always focus on achieving the highest ROI for the investors, a full condo strata management in place, and property management discounts are available for multiple units on that. Also, with solar, the starting prices are approximately, as we said, the launching is coming up soon. So the prices right now is about starting price will be about $298,000, and it will go up to about $460,000, depending on the size of the unit you will be going on that. So at IQI, what do? We provide you with all services, whether it is buying and selling residential and commercial properties. As Liam was mentioning, we do work in pre-construction, which you guys call, which we all call as an off-plan. We work in the secondary market, which is the buying, selling of the properties. We have access to all commercial properties, whether it is even related to a franchise business, it's buying and selling of the hotels, or any of the commercial properties. We have access to it, and we provide all those services. We can help in long and short-term rentals and leases, pre-construction houses and condos. We do have and tied up with immigration services. If somebody is looking to immigrate or and want to send their kids for education, we can connect you to our immigration services consultant who can help you out on that. We have a property management services. We have a real estate investment projects in Canada and globally, as Liam was mentioning that, and that with Australia and Canada, or any of our other countries, Malaysia, Dubai, Philippines, Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, now India, Pakistan, Singapore. I think we can continue with the list on that, Liam, on that. So everybody, as a part of IQI, you're a part of an IQI global family, where we take care of you in terms of every possible way. What is the best high level of service and advice which you can get in terms of investment was provided by the team of IQI globally, and promising investment in high growth Canadian real estate market. So with this, I was telling Leon that I'll try to make it short and make sure that, if there's any questions which is coming along, please feel free to ask us any questions on that. Over to you, Leon.
Thank you, Yusuf. Thank you for sharing that insightful, market outlook, as well as some of I'm learning a lot of new knowledge that I never know. Yes, I agree with you. The list just keep going longer and longer about all the different countries that now have, come along in join IQI. So that's exciting. So now all our investors are really, truly a global investor that have access to all these countries under one single umbrella. Yeah. Let me have a quick look and see, is there any question on our Facebook Live? All right, let me check here as well. All right, looks like we haven't got any question that popped up. We have lots of comment here. Thanks so much, Yusuf. Now I miss Japan. And everyone saying hi. Yeah.
Well, hi to everybody. Well, so as you know, we always say that sun is always shining on Hawaii IQI is because of Australia and Canada. And if it's one city or the other, we're always up. If in Australia or Canada, with a 12-hour difference, we're always up. on that. I'll also share a market report, a market update report, which will be available to anybody who's interested in that, and that will give you the information about the various markets for the last month, what has happened in terms of the Toronto real estate market and the markets in general in Vancouver, Montreal, and the Calgary area as well.
So that's great. Yeah. So in order to get that report, just put a PM me in our comment, and then we will send a copy to you. Or if you manage to capture Yusuf's contact detail on his slide just then, yeah, drop him an email. He will send that report to you. Or if you have any question, you can get in touch with him directly as well, or through us at IQI Australia. And I do actually have one or two questions for you, Yusuf. So when it comes to a type of property that, say, a foreign investor would like to invest in Canada, is there a specific type that we kind of have to buy, or say as a foreigner, are we allowed to buy landed property or second-hand property? Is there any restriction on that?
So there is absolutely no restriction on the kind of type of property you want to buy. As I was mentioning in my presentation as well, if you want to buy an off-plan property, which we call it a pre-construction, you can buy that. If you want to buy a resale property, which is available for immediately for rent, that's not a problem at all. If you're looking to buy into a commercial property, that is not a problem at all. See, the good thing about here is that there is no minimum investment requirement. As I understand, some countries do have the minimum investment requirement, where you have to have a certain amount of money when you can buy a property. The good thing about the Canada is that you can buy a property a minimum with no minimum requirements as such on that. And another one added advantage is that the foreign buyers getting financing. Now that is again a big advantage for the people who want to leverage on their money, who want to have multiple investments on that, rather than putting all your eggs in one basket or putting everything money on one thing. The leveraging part of the financing is also a very unique opportunity for the investors to invest in Canada, where they can invest into multiple projects. For example, if you're buying a house for about $500,000 in an apartment, on that, if you're doing a math of 35%, I mean, instead of putting all the money of $500,000 into one, you can actually multiply it into a couple of properties or 3 properties on that. Another option is about selling your property. You can sell your property to anybody. That's the beauty of it. You don't have to sell only to the local people. For example, I'm a foreign buyer, and tomorrow I decide to sell my property. I can sell it to another foreign buyer. I don't have the option. I don't have a restriction that it has to go only to the resident. So there's no quota system.
Oh, that sounds so good. There's so much flexibility in terms of the type of property, and as well, there's no restriction who you want to sell it to. So all of a sudden, your market just burn, and yeah, it's exciting. So you mentioned about the pre-construction or off-the-plan project. I'm not sure in Canada, do the investor have to do progressive payment during the construction, or I'm not sure if you,
Yeah, so the way it works is that when you talk about progressive payment, there's a payment plan which will give you a deposit amount. For example, the one I was referring right now was for a resident, which was up to 20% of down payment within phases. Just for a recap, it was going between the prices of $2,500 upon signing, then 2.5% balance in 30 days, 2.5% in 90 days, and 100 days.
Yeah.
So basically, based on the payment plan which is being given, and as soon as you sign up a contract, you have about 10 days. Within that 10 days, you can have your contract reviewed by a lawyer. You have to apply and give them a mortgage approval letter, which would say that you can get a mortgage approval letter on that. Once you have the mortgage approval letter, you just have to do the payment plan. And the good thing is that now we have banks who are doing a full financing for next 4 years. So what it means, Leanne, is that today a bank will qualify you for 2024. The only thing they will do at that time, they will just do an appraisal. So during this time, they're doing a full approval for you. That means just in case anything changes for you, the bank will still honor their commitment and they will give you the full financing on that, which is
Yeah.
again a very big advantage on this.
Oh, that is so good. You have just answered my next question about the financing. So basically, you buy now, you get the loan now, and they honor it all the way until completion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when you say they just do a quick appraisal, do they just look at the valuation of the properties, or they just
They do. They
Okay.
do. So what we have also seen, and that raises to another point, is that what we have always seen in pre-construction is that up till now, the rule of thumb has been that whatever you have invested in terms of your down payment, for example, $500,000 home, you've invested $100,000, which is 20%. At least till the time of closing, up to now, we have seen the appreciation has gone up by at least $80,000 on top of $100,000. So you can do the ROI yourself, that what kind of return investment you will get on that. The reason is that, again, immigration plays a very important role in Canada. You know, there's lots of students. It's about close to about 4,000 people coming every year in Canada. Apart from that, there's international students who are coming here. Once international student graduates, they have about 3 years to apply for their permanent residency. Once they get a permanent residency, they get their houses as well. So the demand is there, which is a continuous growth and continuous demand. And we have seen the prices have been continuously going up for at least I can say for almost like 10 years now.
Wow. Well, yeah, I just saw one of your statistics just then, that sales volume increased by 40% and the price increased by 20%. That is significant. Yeah.
That is significant. In the month of August, or even like after, like during the times of pandemic, like 3 months.
Yes.
Although the business was like March, April, May, but as soon as June started hitting up, we have been super swamped and super busy in terms of the resale plus the pre-construction or the offline properties.
Yeah, no, 20%. That is what we really hope for in Australia at the moment. Yeah, you also mentioned that, you know, you can actually buy something and then when it's close to completion, you can actually sell it. So you can actually sell it without settling.
Yes,
so
you can actually sell it without settling. This is what we call as an assignment clause. So what an assignment clause means is that before the end, before you actually do the closing, where you have to pay the land transfer tax in Ontario and go to a lawyer thing, you can sell it at a premium price. Obviously, you need subject to the approval for the builder. The builder's approval, the way it works is that if builder has already sold about 80%, 90% of the building, which they normally have, they will give you an assignment clause. Sometimes it's a free assignment clause, sometimes it's administration cost of $1,000, maximum to $5,000 on that. But then you can actually sell it at a premium price, and you have already gained that tax. So what will happen is that you're not paying your land transfer tax. You're not paying any closing costs on that, and you take your profit, and you're good to go with that.
That's it. Take your profit and off we go. So there's no tax payable on that profit that we earn.
So the tax is always payable to you, because if you're a foreign buyer, and because the way it works is that whether if you're a local buyer or foreign buyer, whenever you're doing an investment property, there is always tax on the investment property. So tax will be there because you still have to file your taxes out, whether you are a foreign buyer or you're a local buyer, and that is subject to a tax. Now the way the tax works is that that is also interesting. The first 50% is tax exempt, and rest of the 50% you can put your expense on. For example, if you have made $100,000 as a profit, the first $50,000 there's no tax. The other $50,000 is taxable, which is subject to the other, which is you put on all expenses. So the average comes about between 20-22%. You will see as a tax bracket on that.
Oh, that's still pretty good. I find that there is some similarity in terms of our tax system between Australia and Canada. Yeah.
Okay.
But Canada is so much better. And I actually have one question here from Mandy. What's the exit cost in Canada? So I'm presuming she's talking about when you want to sell.
Okay. So the exit cost from Canada is just a commission, which you're paying to the agent who's listing your property. The buying agent is buying it. So anywhere between 4 to 5% of the price of the property. That includes the selling agent and the buying agent. And all you need is a lawyer, which will cost you between $1,000 to $1,500, and that's about it. when it comes to the exit cost. So you're not paying anything. Yes, capital gain tax is something which you will have to pay on your thing, which is, again, you know how Australia, Canada, and every other countries are, it's regulated on that perspective. But in terms of exiting, as I mentioned previously as well, you can sell it to anybody, you can sell it to any person, you can transfer it to any person who will be eligible for it on that, and there's no specific cost except for the commissions and a lot fees of about $1,015 on that.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for that. Let's see. Oh, yeah. No other question. So now I have more questions.
Sure.
But rent control, that is something that a little bit different. And also, you said every 3 months you're allowed to increase the rent. And actually, how often, like in the current market, that the landlord will actually increase the rent?
Normally, this is an option which is available in Alberta, but not in Toronto. So Toronto is that every year you could do it, what we call as a CPI, which is a consumer price index, which is being given by the tenant both, which is close to about like 2% to 2.5% every year, which you can do it. But in Alberta, the regulation is different. You could increase it on that. How often people are doing it on that? That's a very good question. Most of the time, depending on who your tenant is and you're happy with your tenant, you're covering up your cost. You know, I mean, if you're putting in 35% down payment or 40% down payment for foreign buyers, and if you do the maths in terms of your mortgage payments and the rent you're getting it, you're always in a positive cash flow. And if you're in a positive cash flow and you've got a good tenant, normally landlords would not do it, but there's an option for them to do it if they want to do their option on that. That option is available, but in some of the places that option is not available at all, that you cannot do it, right? So it all depends upon the investor, that how often they want to do it. If you're happy with the tenant and you're getting the kind of desired return you're looking at and the kind of cash flow you're looking at, then you're good to go with that.
That's right. Yeah, it's good that it's every 3 months. It's quite frequent, actually. Yeah. And I know that you actually provide property management services as well. And what sort of rate that we're looking at, or the charges that you would charge for using a service for property management?
So property management, the way it works is that whenever you're listing a property, there's always a 1 month's rent, which is get distributed between the buying agent and the selling agent on that. And normally it's 10% of the total rent, which is being put into property management. Property management includes making sure that the tenants are being qualified. We qualify the tenants on that. There's a frequent visit every month by a property manager, going and looking at the property, making sure that property is there. We have a full contract which is in place, collecting rents on their behalf. If there's any work that is required, we have a team on site that can go and help them for the work on that. So it's a complete solution which we provide, because it's the way we look at it for all the foreign investors, even for the local investors over here, people don't have time. They are there to invest on that, but they need to make sure that that everything has been taken care of by somebody.
Yeah, especially let the professional to do the job as well. And then, as an investor, if you own like multiple properties, you wouldn't have the time to, go through all of this.
Exactly.
A lot of legal thing, regulation that they need to know as well. So best just leave the job to the professional to do. Yeah.
True.
And Yusuf, I noticed that you talked about short-term stay in your slide, that you also provide that. Do you mean Airbnb or that sort of short-term stay? Or?
Short-term stays that we have tied up with, for example, when we have tied up with the companies, when people land here, they normally require 2 to 3 months of a rental space before they decide to actually buy a property or decide where they want to rent out in terms of the kids. So we have furnished rentals available through companies where we can facilitate that for our clients who are coming to Toronto, and get them a 1 month, 2 month, 3 months furnished rentals for them till they come and decide that they want to buy their house or they want to lease to a specific area. Because once you come in with the settlement services, you want to make sure that where you're going to get your job at, which school your kids will be going to. So you have that temporary phase of, rather than signing up a 1 year lease, you have the option of being there for about 2 months, 3 months on that.
Okay, that is very flexible. Yeah, I think we have few questions popping up in our here. So, okay, we have a question from Christopher. what is the property price trend in Toronto, and how does the price of this property compare with Toronto CBD area?
CBD, what is CBD? I'm not about sure about the term CBD.
Yeah, I don't quite, yeah. What is the property price trend in Toronto, and how does the price of this property compare with Toronto CBD area?
Okay, so I can, so for the trend for the prices in Toronto, I can tell you
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
As I said, you know, through the reports which you have seen as well, there's been a constant increase in terms of
Yeah.
the pricing on that. If you go to core downtown, we are looking at close to about between $1,400 to $2,000 per square feet. I'm talking about in the Yorkville area, which is a very famous and high-end area on that. If you're going towards the lakeshore, you're looking at anywhere between $1,100 to $1,200, $1,400. If you're coming all the way to Wong City or Mississauga, you're looking at again close to about $1,000 per square feet on that. I can tell you one thing: the way that price trending has been on that, with something which I was selling in about 2 years ago for $1,000. Now we are selling in similar area about close to about $1,400 per square feet. So you can see the difference what has happened in last 2 years. And every time a new project comes in, the prices are going up. The reason is that because the resale for the prices which is currently in the market, they've gone up as well due to the high demand and growth.
I hope Crystal will answer your question here. And Crystal also asked, any price drop since COVID-19? I think Crystal probably have missed the first few slides of your presentation. So, yep, thanks, Crystal. And perhaps, Yusuf, you can just repeat the pricing since the COVID, which is very positive anyway.
Sure, I can do that. Now, when the COVID started up, we saw the sales went down, and I would be happy to share all the reports from March, a snapshot from March all the way to August. The sales went down in the month of April about close to 40%. The prices were stable, still going up by 2 to 3%. Throughout the pandemic, very interesting. Although the sales were not there because everything was closed, the prices were still up by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10%. So they went on increasing, which was very surprising as well for everybody. So we did not see a price decrease anywhere at all as for the Toronto Real Estate Board. We did saw the sales going down because there was no activity which was happening on that. And as I said, since the pandemic or the things started getting opened up here, which was from May onward, the trend has been 12%, 16%, and now 20%.
Yes, amazing. Maybe they just can't. We actually all of a sudden we can't travel, and there's not many places that we can spend money. Just buy houses.
And one more thing, keep in mind, Lian, like this year, we didn't had a lot of immigrants come in because of the pandemic, and there were travel restrictions. Now, this is from people who are locally buying us, and as I told you that we always expect every year anywhere between 350,000 to 400,000 people coming in, out of which at least 50 to 60% are coming in Ontario, and they're coming to the areas which I was talking about, the Wong, the Greater Toronto area, Mississauga, Toronto, Brampton, all these areas, and that is the reason there is so much high demand which is available. And every year there are students who are graduating who are getting their permanent residency, resident cards on that, and there's a constant end users and investors available here, you know, and that is the reason we have been seeing that significant growth which we're seeing in the market right now.
Yeah. You have that demands there, you know, supply and demands. Yeah, sounds like even during this time, you don't have that people flow into the country as much as previously. But imagine when the border open again, like you know,
it will be, and that's what we've been looking around, you know, and during the pandemic as well. I'm glad somebody asked that. Canada has been, I'm sure I'm sure Australia and US, probably other countries as well, but Canada has been very much in limelight in terms of supporting from the government. You know, they had this serve, which was supported to the people who have lost their job throughout the pandemic. On that, they're supporting local businesses from the government side, and all those support was always provided to the people even throughout the pandemic. And now life has become quite normal as a lot of people have returned back to their work as well.
That's very good to hear. Yeah, same as Perth. Like everything's almost back to the normal, and hopefully both our property market will continue to grow strong. And we look forward to 2021 when both, Canada, Toronto, and Perth, Australia, we will have a mini boom in properties.
and then we can travel again and see each other again soon. Probably
exactly.
Malaysia.
yes. We're gonna go to the convention and have a bit of a party there. Just to reconnect. Same, yeah. Just to reconnect with the team and just to learn from each other again. So that's the beauty of IQI. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So thanks again for joining us this evening. We are close to 9 o'clock, so it's about time to wrap up. And thank you once again, Yusuf, very early in the morning over there. And thank you for taking that time to join us and share that experience with us. And for people there who would like to continue to support this, our program, in 2 weeks' time, we will have another topics on depreciation report, or how to fully utilize depreciation, building depreciation to leverage your taxable income. So yes, once again, thank you, Yusuf, and have a good,
pleasure. Thank you
good morning.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Have a good day.
thank you. Bye bye.